Question: how did the spread of industrialization allow England to transform from a subsistence agricultural society to a superpower? During the early 18th century Europe, the primary economy consisted of mostly agricultural. Families were focused on growing food for survival and had little to do anything else. Prior to the industrialization, clothes were made by hand in the cottage industry. The production of these goods was not efficient, which encouraged people to think of ways to advance the process. Along with the inventors who devised new technology, the aristocrats began the enclosure movement. They wanted more land, and so they took previously public land that the peasants used and made it private. With no land and no money to buy it, peasants moved to cities in search of jobs that would sustain their families. Also, new advancement in agricultural technology, including the seed drill, new crops, and new crop methods, gave Britain a surplus in economic profit to eventually make further advancements towards industrialization. Thesis: the First Industrial Revolution propelled England from an agriculturally dependent country to an industrial world power, as they controlled the cotton industry and steel industry, which allowed them to spread ideas of industrialization to surrounding countries. The spread of industrialization began in Manchester, Britain, around the year 1760. They had colonies all around the world, from America to India. It was those two countries where they were able to harvest such plentiful amounts of cotton. Workers in the colonies processed the cotton, and then it was transported to Britain to be processed and turned into manufactured goods. Manufacturing previously took place in cottages. However, with the start of the Industrial Revolution, it moved to factories, which allowed for more efficient production. These efficiencies saved time and money, which allowed British companies to receive higher revenue and profits. The higher profits helped them to further industrialize Britain's economy, which will lead to success in the long run. Another industry that Britain became the leader of was steel manufacturing. With the help of the Bessemer process, which oxidized steel, removing carbon from it, factory workers could create the most durable steel of its time at a quicker rate than ever before. Britain had naturally occurring deposits of coal and iron throughout the country, which were also essential for keeping the cost of steel down, as it no longer needed to be imported. Both coal and iron ore would be collected from mines and then transported to factories where women, men, and even small children would produce steel and other goods. Because Britain was the first country to industrialize, they were able to export their more affordable goods throughout Europe, where they would make large profits and gain even more stardom as a country. When countries saw Britain's mounting success, they realized that the prosperous nation they were becoming surrounded an area and began to industrialize their economies. Both Germany and France invested in factories and infrastructure in attempts to catapult their country to success. Eventually, factories in France owned by the haute bourgeoisie sprung up everywhere and were commonly managed by the petite bourgeoisie and worked by the proletariat. France became known for their beautiful furniture they manufactured and amassed a lot of wealth from the sale of that furniture. Slowly but surely, industrialization continued to spread to Eastern Europe and all around the globe. Without Britain's supply of raw materials, access to ports, and other factors, the Industrial Revolution may have never begun. It would have never spread throughout Europe like a wildfire that allowed these countries to be such prosperous part of the world like we recognize them today. It truly was a miracle that allows today's society many of the comfort it has, along with the consumer economy that currently makes the world go round.